This is Otaku no Video, episode 28, Weird Japanese Porn. And let's get started. First off, a few news stories from pretty far in the past, December 2nd of 2008, which is kind of odd to say now that we're in 2009. Juiced is launching an application for the iPhone. It's going to be a Flash-based video site. It's going to be a free application available on the Apple App Store. Kind of hard to say. And basically, it's going to stream a large amount of their content. No real details on exactly what that will entail, whether it'll be their entire content or just a limited selection. But from what it says, it sounds like it'll be a fair amount of content. I guess the main interest for me on this is sort of a dual thing. I mean, anime is going to be kind of annoying to watch on an iPhone, especially if it's subbed. I don't know if it would even be readable subbed on an iPhone, but on the other hand, I could really, really see the advantages of being able to just, you're on a plane, you're on whatever, you're waiting for someone, and you can just pull up your iPhone and watch 20 minutes of anime. That makes a lot of sense, but I don't know, this just feels a little weird to me.
Yeah, and I think this all goes back to the whole, the iPod.
Yeah?
And when they started supporting video and things like that, and there were a few film people who were like, no, this defeats the purpose. Cinema's supposed to be the 400-pound Italian guy who comes into the party and everybody has to dive for the wall. Cinema is supposed to be huge, and this is not. But, I don't think it'll be interesting to see if it really impacts the dub groups.
Yeah.
More than it will be anything else, because I think it makes perfect sense. I see people on campus with their video iPods watching things, and I knew a guy who was trying to, actually a friend of mine tried to do that with Code Geass. He tried to cram the entire season onto his iPod subbed.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
How did it work? Or did he do it?
He could not convert all of it. I imagine it was because of the various codecs and encoding and things that...
Yeah.
Well, mostly the encoding that the fan subbers do. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, and also, how many people are going to be using it for anime, strictly? Does Juiced host other...
Yeah, quite a lot of stuff, from what I understand.
Television shows, or is it like YouTube?
It's not YouTube. So it's like TV shows, movies, music videos, short films.
Oh, okay. All right. Then it will just be interesting... altogether, whether or not what gets put on here.
And I understand that concern about things, although I don't think that those portable players are going to replace theaters. I think that that experience definitely needs to be done there. But on the other hand, if I want to watch the South Park movie, I don't really need a 12-foot screen to see it on.
Oh, definitely. And for, independent film and...
Yeah. Well, much less anime that's meant to be seen on TV anyway.
Yeah, that's true, by and large.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The only big downfall I can see is the whole subtitling thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, if the subtitles were readable, they would completely cover the screen.
Exactly.
Other news, there's a new Saint Seiya, which just blows my mind. I mean, the last Saint Seiya thing came out, 15 years ago? And there's a new Saint Seiya OVA greenlit, and they're planning on, I believe it was they don't mention a release date, but it's kind of weird. Now, I was incorrect. This is based, they're doing this manga, The Lost Canvas, which has been going since 2006. But the anime certainly is very old school. I mean, I can't imagine why they're doing an anime. Is it this popular?
Oh, wait a second. Are we talking about The Lost Canvas? The Hades chapter came out in 2008.
Wow.
And that premiered on Animax, so...
Wow, okay.
I also wanted to point out that this was announced on Tushan, so that does give you an idea of who the fans probably are.
Yeah, true.
And there was another Saint Seiya the Hades chapter, another OVA that was looks like 2005, 2006 for first and second parts of it.
Wow.
So these things, they're around, but they're not. It's like Lupin the Third, really.
True. Wow.
In terms of random releases.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I guess it's pretty popular then. Cool.
Yeah, and there's another one in 2000, or there was a movie in 2004, so it's out there.
Ah, fair enough.
Sort of scary, though.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of popularity, in September, the numbers came in for Blu-ray sales, and anime made up to 64% of all Blu-ray sales in Japan. All Blu-ray sales. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. That includes stuff like Macross Frontier, Code Geass, and Gundam 00. In terms of raw number of discs sold, the market grew 350% during this time period. So definitely the Japanese market is adopting Blu-ray at a nice clip. Although, of course, it's still tiny. They said it's still less than 1% of the DVD market. Well, it was less than 1%. Now it's 3.8% of the DVD market, but that's still pretty small. But still, wow, that's I mean, for 2/3 of all your releases to be anime discs, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, although I don't know how surprising it is when you're buying TV shows in Blu-ray that usually come in singles and things like that.
Good point.
Which is definitely big here because things like Code Geass and Macross Frontier come with, 2 episodes on them.
That's actually a good question. I mean, do the Japanese do box sets at all?
I know that they do for older shows.
Okay, yeah.
I know Ideon came out in a 2-parter, and each part cost something like $200-something,
Mm-hmm.
something outrageous. This is only DVD, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that. And then I know there are like Ghost in the Shell has a Blu-ray box set that got released that dare I say it was something like $300 or maybe $500.
Wow.
Yeah, and things like that. So they're out there. They appear to be, for some shows, almost unfindable. I know there was some ranting and raving about the Bacano art box.
Mm.
Well, that's an art box. That's a different deal. Those are sort of hard to find, too.
Well, there's this interesting tendency among Japanese companies I've noticed to do really limited runs. Like, there's this idea that they'll produce